finally on its way home, all painted nice and blue. We'll zoom in a little bit and see if we can see how good it looks leaving. Yeah, it definitely looks better from a distance. Alright, now that's gone, let's see what else we got to work on. Alright, welcome back everybody. So, the Volkswagen is out of the garage, finally. Painted, done, gone, out of here, as you can see there. So, now, I'm going to get this Ford Explorer chassis in the garage. And I'm going to make a video. We're just going to strip it down real fast. I'm going to fast forward through a lot of that stuff, probably. I'm just going to speed it up, show you how I disassemble everything. We're going to take apart, basically take everything off we don't need. The full exhaust is coming off. All the emission stuff's going to come off. All the fuel lines, vapor lines. Basically, I'm going to take all the accessory bracketry, wiring harness, everything off the engine. I'm going to strip it down to a long block. After that, once it's all stripped down, we have everything off that we don't need. Then the transmission mount and the engine mounts need to get done. So today's video, I think I'm just going to do a quick rundown, get this chassis stripped, and I'll show you what we have to do with the engine mounts. So let's get to it. Okay, I had some audio issues here, so I'm learning how to do a voiceover. Basically, not sure what I did to the audio, but anyways, I just decided to speed up some of this, a couple of minutes of it. Let's speed it up and get through it. There's nothing too exciting, just a simple teardown, disassembly is all. That's all this video is really, complete disassemble. Everything that I don't want to use on the 38 pickup. Basically all the emissions, the exhaust, the gas tank we're actually reusing. We're changing the fuel system around a little bit, but we'll get into all that later. This video right now is just tear down and kind of trying to learn my a little bit more editing. So all these brackets that I take off, I'm going to take them completely apart. They'll go in the parts washer, and then to the bead blast cabinet, I'll bead blast everything. And then depending on what he wants, it'll either be aluminum, I'll either leave it aluminum, or we'll paint stuff according to what he wants to do. I believe on the other truck I just left everything bead blasted, and maybe I painted it with aluminum color spray paint. The engine, I'll end up taking the water pump off, the timing cover. I'll do a whole nother video on what I do with the engine. I'll probably do a whole nother video on what I do with the transmission. I'm going to rebuild the transmission and make it look brand new on the outside, and obviously rebuild it on the inside. The engine, I'm going to take everything off, clean it, paint everything, reassemble it so it looks nice and new. We're not doing anything with the engine runs fine. The gas tank is just coming out so I can remove the fuel lines and stuff behind it. This right here, the oil filter housing and the oil cooler, I'm not going to be doing anything with that stuff. Once we move the engine sideways a little bit, we lose room for an oil filter and all that, so I'll be mounting a remote oil filter on this. And on this side, all the EGR system is going to go away. We're not going to use it. The big elbow right there that's connected to the throttle body and the intake manifold, this piece right here we're going to take off. The throttle body will actually bolt right to the intake manifold, and it cleans all that up. We don't need all that stuff. So we really end up getting quite a bit of stuff out of the way. Cleans it up quite a bit, makes it look pretty nice once it's all cleaned and detailed and put back together. And two 7mm bolts right here. Take off the EGR pressure sensor. The ignition coil pack assemblies and spark plug wires. This is going to get new spark plugs, new plug wires, all that stuff's going to get replaced. So, like I said, just tear down, disassembly. After this, I get into the exhaust. The exhaust is pretty good. I ended up making a few $100s to tear this thing down. So it worked out pretty good. These the catalytic converters end up being worth quite a bit of money. So when you get the part one out and you don't need the catalytic converters, the scrap guys love to get their hands on those. Some of them are actually pretty valuable. So, and right here, the fuel lines, we're not going to be reusing those fuel lines. I'll be making new fuel lines coming off the back, just so it's less stuff out of the engine compartment and looks a little bit cleaner. So we'll get these fuel lines out of here and we'll move on to the exhaust. That's a $200 bonus. Let's see about these. All right, that one's good too. Sweet. All right, what's going on there? Come on, get up. There we go. This one I can't see, but I'm assuming it's good. Sweet $400 bonus. Call it time to call the scrap guy. And just like that, you make 400 bucks. Alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and drop the gas tank and finish pulling all the fuel lines out, the vapor lines, and drop the spare tire and get the charcoal canister out of there, and the chassis is pretty much stripped down. Well, that's about it for disassemble, tear down for the most part. Tomorrow I'll get after that, relocating the transmission. Not too bad for a day. I'm back at it tomorrow.